Lesson 1, topic, transversals and angle pairs. Learning target, I can identify angle pairs formed by 3 intersecting lines. Parallel lines are lines that are coplanar, so on the same plane, and do not intersect, do not cross. Our symbol is what looks like parallel lines. So we would say M is parallel to N. That's how it would look. Skew lines, lines that are not coplanar, so do not exist on the same plane and also do not intersect. Parallel planes are planes that just do not intersect. They don't touch. So think of each segment in the figure as part of a line. Which lines or planes in the figure appear to fit the description? So we have lines that are parallel on the same plane, do not intersect, to CD, line CD, and contain point A. So we have all the lines that would contain point A would be AD, AB, AG, and AH. And the only one that does not intersect and is on the same plane would be line AB. Lines skew to CD. So skew, remember, means not coplanar, so not on the same plane, and also contain point A. So it'd be lines that do not exist in this plane that contain point A. So it'd be AH, and AG. Lines perpendicular, so 90-degree angle, right angle, to CD containing point A. We see these right angle markings here. We see CD would be perpendicular to AD. And then planes parallel to plane EFG containing point A. So this plane down here on the bottom. Planes that are parallel just means they don't intersect. So this plane up here would be the plane that does not intersect with the bottom plane. So it would be plane A, B, C. And it contains point A. More practice on this. We have name a pair of parallel lines. So in a diagram, the way we notate parallel lines are these arrows that point in the same direction. So we know by those arrows that lines MK is parallel to line LS. So that would be a pair of parallel lines. Name a pair of perpendicular lines. Well, we know perpendicular means they need that right angle marking. So the right angle is on this line and this line. So we can say that line NP is perpendicular to PQ. And then we have 2 questions. Is line PN parallel to line KM? So if we find line PN and KM, are those parallel? No, because they cross. Or intersect. And then is line PR perpendicular to line NP? So we have NP right here and PR right here. And the answer would be no, because no right angle marking. At least for those 2 lines. The right angle marking ends on line PQ, as you can see. It does not extend down to that PR. A transversal is a line that intersects 2 or more lines at different points. So if you did the intro activity for Unit 3, you would have learned about transversals. and our different angle pairs that are formed by a transversal. So these are going to be very important throughout this whole unit, so make sure you understand these. So we have corresponding angles, are two angles in corresponding points, so i.e. like the top right, as these guys are in the top right of both lines. Or we could have the bottom left, corresponding locations. Alternate interior angles are two angles that lie between the two lines on opposite sides of the transversal. So we have the in between the two lines, and then you'd have the exterior be on the outside of the two lines, so the interior angles, and then they're on opposite sides of the transversal. One's on the left, one's on the right. Very similar, but its alternate exterior angles are two angles that lie on the outside of the two lines on opposite sides of the transversal. So here's those two lines. We have the interior, and then on the outside is the exterior. So they're on opposite sides of the transversal on the exterior of the lines. And then consecutive means one after the other. Interior angles, so it's two angles that lie between the two lines, so they're on the interior. But this time they're on the same side, unlike the alternate, which are on opposite sides. So we just want to practice identifying these angle pairs. So identify all pairs of angles of the given type. So first off, corresponding. So here's the transversal. Label it T, transversal. And we have our two lines. So the two lines, so I'm going to label the interior, the exterior. So corresponding would be in the same location. So we have 1 and 5 would be in the same location. So angle 1 and 5. Angles 2 and 6. Angle 3 and 7. And then angle 4 and angle 8. Alternate interior. So we're looking on the interior and on opposite sides. So we have 4 and 5, 2 and 7. And then alternate exterior. So we're looking on the exterior. So angle 1 and angle 8. And then angle 3 and angle 6. And then consecutive interior. So again, we're looking on the interior, but on the same side of the transversal. So that would be 4 and 7. And then angles 2 and 5. One last example, classify the pair of numbered angles. So if we look at angle 1 and angle 5. I always like to identify my transversal. Make sure you understand where that transversal is. So here's the two lines, interior, exterior. They're not both on the interior, they're not both on the exterior, which makes them corresponding. In that same location, top right, or top left, I don't, depending on how you manipulate the image. So now we have the next example. So there's our two lines. We have our transversal here, interior, exterior. Our angles are on the exterior and they're on opposite sides of our transversal. So we have alternate exterior angles. And then the last example, we have transversal right there. This is the interior. Both angles are on the interior and they're on opposite sides of the transversal. One's on the left, one's on the right. So we have alternate interior angles. That's all your notes. Go ahead and work on your practice.